Hey YouTube, coming at you with my second Fantasy Cup team. Built around Togedemaru, FLYGON. I used three, would end up being steals in the back. So double weak to fire, which caused problems. So I wouldn't recommend the team. I do recommend FLYGON, and actually Togedemaru was quite strong. You're gonna see quite a lot of great matchups. I'll go over that when they happen because I'll actually try and shoutcast properly here. I really don't like this meta. I actually have a really good team for tomorrow. I just did 7 battles today with it, and I'm 7-0 so far. So I really found a team that worked. I'll showcase that tomorrow. But for the most part, I'm just not liking this meta. It's very, very limited. The meta's already tightening up. It's like 8 Pokemon. One of them is FLYGON. Because FLYGON, I think, is just generally very, very safe. I would recommend the Shadow version. We're going to go over that when you see it against the Azumarill. So let's just get into it here. Registeel against Togedemaru. So for those of you who do not know this, if Registeel just has somewhat regular, as long as it's not like a rank 1 with like a rerolled 0 defense, most will be taken out into wild charges. And you significantly outpace wild charges to focus blast. So as you shield up one here, I will get to 2 wild charges before they get to a focus blast here. So I will take this out, and if I grab a shield, which I do, I will take it out by winning CMP. So Togedemaru, this would be an easy one shield here. They end up double shielding. I could, if I want, shield and get up another wild charge because I'm going to outpace it to the next one too. I decided to go because I'm like, Fire Fang here, come in here. They have a dragon in the back. And this is why I start with Mawile, because I was like, you know what? Togedemaru is going to have a little problem with like some steals that's like a steel ground. So I was like, let's just get Mawile in there because Mawile could just Fire Fang it. And that was the thought process. It also is nice resisting the dragons, which FLYGON is going to have a problem with, right? Because FLYGON has its fast move of Mudshot, so it's going to have problems against the dragons. And in the back is Azumarill, because they're everywhere. Why I would recommend the Shadow FLYGON. So this one is clearly not powered up. And by powered up I mean like XL'd. If this was an XL Azumarill, as you're going to see in some matchups coming up, I'm running Earth Power, which is a community move. Earth Power does not take out Azumarill in 2 moves. It takes 3. So it's one of those things where it's just like, it's kind of unfortunate where it's like you have not a good matchup anyways to begin with, and then just not being able to take it out in 2. So if you're going to get one shot by Ice Beams and Play Roughs, you might as well be able to try and take it out in 2, right? So that's why I would recommend the Shadow version. We've already seen this matchup, so we know what's going to happen here. I was already at an energy advantage 2. I do farm up 1 too many, but that's okay. I will shield and be able to just come out with some energy here. Again, I can take this. I will be able to outpace it normally, so I don't know why I just didn't throw and take it out. So I take that out finally here. They have come in with their Dedenne, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just stay in here. I've got a very good matchup. Realistically with either of those, but let's just start grabbing shields, right? So shipped it to 50%. This is probably going to take it out unless they shield. So they shield. Togedemaru is just killing it. I guess I should use it in the title and stuff for 2 reasons. One, I saw everyone use FLYGON today, which is not unexpected. And 2, just I love it. Although it does not get clicks, but whatever. What is in the back? Oh, that is also why, because one of the 2, that's also why I used Mawile at the beginning, because the counter users which beat Togedemaru are usually Steel, Escav, and Lucario. So that is why I started with Mawile. Dragonair here is not a bad matchup again at all, because you are resistant to Dragon Breaths. Yes, these Aqua Tails will chip, but you will get to 2 wild charges and take it in the zeros if you want. So I let the Aqua Tail go, knowing that I resist wild charges. They come in with the Reggie. So I probably should be swapping here, quite honestly. This is where Escav is in. But I get to a third one here. I don't think it's enough to take it out. I feel like I need some of the Thundershock. Yeah, I'm just short because I need some Thundershock chip damage, but I did not get it. But, you know, damage is done. I do take it out. I mean, I don't take it out, but I grab a shield. I think FLYGON is probably better with energy here. Dragonair on the front, and this is where you can just chip here. And then I'm going to come in with Escav because you will resist the Dragon Breath, and you're up to shields. You might want to use one here on the Aqua Tail because, again, Shadow Dragon is chipping here. I'm just going to commit to the counter. Okay. That's just indecision at its worst, I'll call it right there. Like, you either commit to the farm down. They leave anyways because I have such a hard counter in the back. But you either commit to the farm down or you throw early enough and you keep your shield. So those are the only two options. It's not an option what I almost did, which is I almost threw like while they were in between those two options. I resist everything here, right? I resist the grass. I resist the steel. I would resist the thunder if they had it. Unfortunately, they do live 2 wild charges. Maybe I should have boosted at the beginning and not lowered my defense so much. But I think that I can just get... so it's a Firefang Mawile. I have to throw this and get into FLYGON immediately. So you're double to fire. I have losses coming. I have losses against some Turtonators and maybe Shadow Mawile. Like anything that's a fire that you can align on FLYGON is tough. I'm guessing this one is probably more excelled because I remember running into a few of these and it was just like, yeah, exactly, right? So that to an XL Azumarill does like 35-40%. So unlike the other one where you could take it out in 2, these mudshots do get it to 50%, but when you're only doing 35-40%, this will live comfortably and you won't be in mudshot range. They didn't need to shield that, and now they get defense fall. So that's not a great example. But even with defense fall, I'd be surprised if this one shot, defense fall, maybe. Yeah, defense fall, yes. But you will see where it comes from. Lucario. So this one's just stupid. Escav is the answer. Escav doing super effective with the counter would be way better. Did not expect a Blaze Kick either. I'm just baiting here because I think that the Mudshots Dragon Claw combo is probably enough to take this out. But they end up shielding, so they will be able to shield back and counter down. So now I can get my Escav on it. Do counter down, so I have a shield advantage. But I have a feeling I'm going to get really hard punished here. I'm assuming it's a second counter user in the back here. And it is. It's an Escav. So I do get back-to-back wild charges to take this out. I probably fail Stinger this. Yeah, I have to or else I'm going to counter down. Just boost your attack and get 1 Thundershock off. Not that that's going to make a ton of difference. Now the question is, can you get to 1 shield of a drill run? It's probably going to take another 3 drill runs to take this out. Yeah, so there's 1 drill run. Maybe the counters add up, so it's like 2 and a bunch of counters, but I doubt it. I have Air Lace on it because that's a quicker move, so I'm going to be probably using that as my takeout move if I can get to it. Here's the second one. They'll live. At this point now, it's counter down range, though. So I just shield and counter down. But yeah, these bubbles are like really adding up. But I do end up taking it down before they take me out. I promise there's a bunch of losses coming here. Again, we've seen this matchup. It doesn't matter if you throw the wild charge right away or not because they're going to take you out with one Focus Blast anyways. So you might as well just like chip them before they potentially bait you with Zap Cannon and lower your attack here. That is exactly what happens. They lower my attack with a Zap Cannon. I do get to the Wild Charge, and again, I should be able to Thundershock and get to the next Wild Charge before they get to a move. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm going to either take this out or grab a shield, the second shield, and I grab the second shield. So it's perfect. They throw right away too, which means that I can come like Escav and just, or Flygon and just get ahead on energy. Escav makes more sense. Azumarill, again, kind of tricky. I just kind of need to stay in here. Oh yeah, I remember fast move timing terrible on Azumarill in one match. Like I screwed up both, and maybe this one. I remember like just throwing right on CMP, but they get the fast move through both times. So maybe it's not this one. I just was not focusing when I played Azumarill a couple matches. But yeah, there's 2 drill runs, not enough to take it out. And now they're able to take me out, so they're goodbye shield advantage, right? I'm trying to keep it alive. I swear I clicked the button like 4 times, but it did not come up, and there's a Skarmory in the back. So this is the top left. I have absolutely nothing to throw at Skarmory here. Dragonair, again, we've seen this. It's not a bad lead. You will get to 2 wild charges and take it out before they get to their second charge move to take you out. So let the first one go so you don't lower your defense. Get to 2 wild charges, go back to back, and then take it in the 0 shield or take shield advantage. So they let the first one go. Wild charges still do a ton, right? It's a nuke of a move, resist it or not, especially on a shadow. They end up committing to the shields, to knowing they're probably going to get it maybe back. Nope, they do not. They do have switch though for an Azumarill. Right, so okay, time to talk about the meta. There's actually 2 things I want to talk about now that we're going off course here. You get how to use the team, even though you're double weak to fire, and you're going to see some problems in the back here. 2 things I want to talk about. When I was putting together, I eventually got a team to work tomorrow, which I'll showcase. But when I was putting teams together, I said in my video yesterday that Turtonator is, I think, a little overrated because every single team seems to have Flygon, Azumarill, or Tapu Fini. And that is true. I think that is true. That a lot of those teams have those, so it makes it much worse. However, if you are a content creator or you're trying to do different Pokemon, like I am, it seemed like every other single Pokemon I tried to put on the team was just bad against it, right? You have basically one option. You just go straight Dragon, like a Dragonair, like that. Those are good matchups. But then there's so many just like Steels or Fairy is only taking like a neutral from it because the fire resists. So that's not an amazing matchup. So yeah, it was causing me, and there's only just like Steels, like the rest of the Pokemon are Steels. So what you're going to see tomorrow is my answer to that, problem I was running into, plus a slight change of meta. I built up a Pokemon, ABB style. It's been working out very, very well, so I'll showcase that tomorrow. So Turtonator, I think that, yes, you're going to have problems against like a lot of the main sort of meta that you're seeing in this. However, I think it actually is quite strong. Probably better than I made it out to be yesterday. But the meta is like 6 Pokemon. Someone mentioned it on one of my on a comment on my video yesterday, Sludge, Galarian, Weezing, and I see PvPoke has updated the rankings, and Sludge, Galarian, Weezing is up to number 5. And it's an interesting one because it is, your pros and cons of this is you have Overheat for the Steels, so you still have something for the Steels, but now you have a super effective Sludge for Azumarill and Tapu Fini, which are everywhere. So you can hit Azumarill, Tapu Fini with Sludge. You can hit the Steels with Overheat, I guess, and in most neutral situations you can hit, I'm trying to see what's on this list, like Registeel, Stunfisk, you Overheat, Azumarill, you Sludge, Lucario Overheat, Tapu Fini Sludge, Excadrill Overheat. Turtonator is one you'd have to Sludge. But it seems like you have good coverage. So I would not be surprised if you see a bunch more Galarian Weezing. I tried it on my team. I didn't try it with Sledge. I tried it with Play Rough, and it was still decent. So I expect to see more of those. But the meta for the most part is Registeel, Azumarill, Tapu Fini, Turtonator, Escav/Lucario, Flygon. Add in a random other Pokemon. That's it. That's the meta. So that's why I felt like Togedemaru was actually good, because you saw me just you beat Registeel, you beat Azumarill, you beat Tapu Fini, Turtonator. You're obviously going to get lit up, and the counter users, you're going to get lit up as well. But you can chip with the wild charge if you in the zeros. And then Flygon is quite good against what I said there too. Like Azumarill, Tapu Fini, you neutralize the water weakness because you're half dragon. So you do like okay against Azumarill, Tapu Fini. Super effective against Registeel, decent against the counter users, dominate Turtonator. So yeah, was an overall very strong Pokemon, and I would, if I'm gonna build a top team, I think Flygon's probably on the team. Like I can sub one of my Pokemon out for Flygon and do very, very well. That's it. Otherwise I do not like this league. And it's funny because this is like a very random plug, but if you do sports, so my family is big into sports. Like when I was growing up, sports was always on. We've done like NFL pools since I was kids. I do fantasy sports leagues for like all four of the main American like sports: football, basketball, hockey. What did I say? Baseball, football, hockey, basketball. So I do fantasy. I've done those since I was a kid. Not a kid, but like in high school, and I've still got the league with my buddies. And I went home for Christmas, and of course, like my parents are always watching the Raptors games and Toronto Raptors basketball game. And every single commercial or every like you would see a gambling sports betting every single like second. They were just like promoting it, and I'm just like, okay. As someone who, this is not as in the Q&A, but like I already talked about the fantasy source, but I used to play like Texas Hold'em poker a lot. I'm interested in like the stock market, so I'm kind of like that, like a gambler, investor, high risk type of person. So if you want to do some FanDuel, referral in the description. Anyways, why am I bringing that up? I'm bringing this up because Friday night when I was on the bus at 4 o'clock Friday, getting home from work. So I did 2 sets of battles, 2 to 3 sets from Friday from 4 to 6. From 6 to 8, I'm with the kids. But then at 8 o'clock, I actually got the night off because my wife had friends over. So I was just like in the basement. So if this was me, and I was actually like as interested in GBL as I have been for like the last 2 years, it would be finish my GBL sets, do two videos. One that you're seeing last night, and this one I should have done it last night. But what I did instead was I made some bets on the site, watched sports, ended up shooting my video at 11 o'clock at night, and then finishing my remaining two and a half sets at 11:15 at night. And this is the first time, and I don't know if it's just this league, Fantasy Cup, which I just said I do not like this meta. I don't know if it's a league or if it's just like this is the first time I'm just like, I really don't want to play GBL. Like I think it's a league. I think it's a league. Just having like 7 Pokemon being the entire meta, and you're seeing it every single time. And as a content creator, like it's tough to actually build this, right? So I got like one more team, but then I'm like, what do I do? Like an all best team, and then I'm done. Like I don't know what else to do. So one, if you have any videos, I can showcase. Link in the description. But yeah, this was the first time just like Do I want to do all my GBL sets in a day? Is it bad if I miss it? 4-time dust. It is bad if you miss it. You got to get that dust if you can. Anyways, that is it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one.